What's up? What's up? Okay, so this is again falling in love with education. The last video I kind of stopped at in the middle of saying something, so I will finish that now and then continue because I got some more things to say. Hopefully, this will not be very long. Okay, so you got bills now. What are you supposed to do? Okay, I'm saying studying and things like that. Okay, when you have a lot of bills, I believe there are ways that you can call these companies and stuff and make arrangements to pay the bills. Of course, you probably have to pay a lot of interest and stuff like that, and things like that. But that's something you just have to do because of whatever problems that happen. But usually, the main problem that happens is mismanagement of funds, buying things you don't need, and things like that. And I'm guilty of this too. I've been in debt twice with credit cards now. I think 3 times, but my debt was, I think the max was about $7,000. I think that's it. But still, I got behind, and I caught up and everything now. I'm on my last time I'm doing this. And so anyway, what are you supposed to do? You got your bills and things like that. Well, what you have to do, I read this book called, I think it was called The Richest Man in the World or something like that. I don't have the book here, it's at home. There's 2 books about it or something about some tablets or something. This guy, he read it or translated it, and he used the idea to help him and his girlfriend or wife or whomever to get out of debt, financial freedom and stuff. And basically, he said, when you get paid, you got to pay yourself. Number one person, you have to pay yourself regardless. So if you got a check and you might get, let's say like you get a check one month, $4,000, take 10% of that money and just give it to yourself regardless, and don't touch it, until, and what I'm saying about don't touch it is like don't touch it, but you do need to invest and stuff like that. So maybe take a little portion from that and invest, but 10% you use it, do a little bit for investing, and or start a business or whatever. It's not going to take a lot of money because there are a lot of businesses out here in the world that you can do to make a lot of money, and you don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money. But you keep that to yourself, and then the other ones you pay your bills, and pay them the way you're supposed to until you get out of debt. And then next time, just don't buy things you don't need. If you're in a situation where you have kids and you're hungry and things like that, you need food. I haven't been a homeless, I don't think. I've had situations in my life, and I think it was just because, I don't know. I mean, you look at me, I'm tall. When I was young, I was a little buff and stuff, Well, I'm doing some exercise. My chest's a little hard, but I'm just doing push-ups. But maybe it was my vocabulary. I mean, maybe that was it, where I was able to speak to people, and because of the words I use, that are on a higher tier, as my friend Jamal says, it was able to help me build a bridge, some trust or whatever. And people just gave me information and things and stuff, and so I was able to move on and stuff like that. I tell you, in my life, I really haven't had any major issues as far as anything. I think that I had a couple of lessons that I had to learn. One with marriage, well, 2 marriages. But those lessons were, they were cool. It wasn't nothing major. It really wasn't anything major. And then one about having to depend on somebody without having a situation, and basically that situation was all about $1, but that $1 situation really helped me. Like, what? This stuff is ridiculous, So I know there are a lot of people out there who are really having major problems, but what you guys have to do, like in these videos, the main point is what I want to say to you is you have to understand where your problems are coming from, because if you don't understand where these problems are coming from, then it's going to be hard to stop them and eliminate them. Okay, so here, basically, like I said, I don't want to go through the whole first video. Hopefully you guys saw, but let me just write it. Okay, there's 5 steps. Okay, one is a situation, and number 2 is the conclusion of that situation based on 1, a guess, or number 2, rationale. Okay, rationale, I guess that's how. Number 3, you're going to have a reaction, and one is going to be on, is going to be based on the conclusion, based on the conclusion, based on the guess that you made, that you had, the guess, or number 2, and sorry, I'm really writing terribly, sorry, or number 2, a reaction on the conclusion, based on the conclusion, that's based on rationale, and then number 4 is going to be your fuel. Okay, 1 is going to be emotions, and I'm thinking it's adrenaline, and adrenaline is accompanied with endorphins. Endorphins only makes you feel good. That's its only job. Okay, that's what endorphins does. It just makes you feel good, because the adrenaline, when it goes to your body, gives you extra strength. It put a lot of stress, pressure, pain to your muscles and everything else, and the adrenaline comes in like a drug and make you feel real good and relaxed. Okay, and it makes you feel good. Or number 2, your emotions. Okay, and 1 is going to be on rationale, and it's basically you're going to make specific choices. I mean actions based on knowledge. Okay, based on your knowledge. Okay, somebody's calling me. Who's calling? I think it's my girl. I can't answer right now. Yes. Sorry, girl. Can't answer right now because I already know what he's going to say. Okay, and then number 5. The result. And here, number 1, the result is going to be a crime, and I call a crime is just I still haven't figured this out. It's a well, I'll just say it like this: a halting of forward progresses, I guess I can say that. Or number 2, it's going to be a crime, or it's just going to be a how did I say that before? Think. It's going to be I can't think. It's going to be it's going to be, I don't know. The end. Okay, it's going to be the solution, basically the end. Okay, of that problem, and then you have 2 choices. I mean, it's going to be the end, and then it's going to be the end, and the end is going to be happiness, or not necessarily happiness, but you can move forward to the next. Can move forward to the next issues. Running out of space, you can move forward to the next issues, or basically move forward to the next issues. I was thinking there's one other thing, but it's not coming to mind. Sorry, this is not written nice and properly, but I'll read it. So here you got, so the situation, regardless of the situation, doesn't matter. The situation. Number 2, the conclusion. You're gonna make a guess, or you're gonna take a rationale. You're gonna come to a conclusion based on a guess or rationale. Number 3, you're gonna have a reaction. This reaction is going to be let me erase this, put this a little higher. This reaction is really an image, okay, in your head that you're going to think about, okay? And this image, this is where you make your mistakes, okay? Because you let's just say you're a guy, right? You see a girl, fine, she's fun, 3D pop, wow, right? And she walking out, she with your best friend, they laughing and stuff, and she touching them and stuff, because you don't understand that when laughter creates vibrations secrete hormones, and it just and drilling, everything flows, and people gotta move, and using and then girls kind of like get a little freaky too, and they'll usually reach out and touch the closest guy to them, or usually the closest person, but I like to say guy. So you see them talking and stuff, and all of a sudden, you're seeing the situation, right? And so you're gonna take a guess. Oh, they were doing something. They went on a date, or they were studying together, or they're talking about me, but you have no idea what they're saying. And then based on this guess, you're gonna come to a reaction, okay? And you're gonna make an image of what you're gonna run over there, and bam, hit the guy, or slap the girl, break up, whatever, and this image is going to happen, right? So then you're going to fuel this image. Here, you're not going to have an image. Okay, here, there's no image, I don't believe, okay? You're just going to think of whatever. It might be an image, but it's not going to be like this image. Okay, but yeah, I think they both should be images. Okay, I'll say they're both images. Okay, and this image, you're going to fuel it with drilling it. Because you're going to be real strong, you're going to turn into the Hulk, right? Because your fan is like 6'7", and you like 5'7", right? And, in a normal case, you're not going to say anything. He's going to slap you, and you go flipping all across the country to Europe or somewhere, okay? But you're going to get all hyped up. You're going to run, man, what you doing? And you're going to take a swing, your friend going to slap you, and you're going to fall to the floor and start crying and stuff because when he hits you and you roll on the ground and stuff, then the emotions and the drilling is going to go away, and you're going to be back to your regular self. And you're like, oh man, what was I thinking? Man, I should at least ask first. Now you got a big eye and all this stuff, right? So the endorphin, but your what it is because it makes you feel good. The endorphins make you feel good. That you're thinking that whatever the image is that you're going to do, you're thinking it's the right thing to do, but this is not a form of judgment. This has nothing to do with it. You only feel good because it's taking away the pain that's in your body. And a lot of us take this like gangbangers, You in LA, man, you a Crip, you see a blood, or you a blood, you see a Crip, oh man, what's up, man? You go and y'all fighting because you got some image in your head that makes no sense, because you're both black men, and you probably, like I was watching Crip Walk, and the guy was saying, in there, if you took the time to talk to this brother, you will find out that you have the same issues about work, about education, about the police, about jobs, about women, about wanting to travel, about just wanting to be able to express yourself and build. You have the same thoughts and ideas, but you got this image of this blood or this Crip, and And whatever the image you have, you know, and you have your friend, and you have your friends, and let's say it gets 5 of you, and y'all see one gang member that you don't like. You guys gonna say, oh, he's a blah, blah, blah. But you guys gonna have this image. And guess what? Guess what? I tell my friends when they're trying to pick up a woman, okay, because I want to hurry up and get this finished because I want to get back to the pickup artists and stuff. But it's not pickup artists; it's simple things about talking to women. But it's this thing they say: a picture is worth, bam, 1,000 words. But see, people aren't thinking. One word is worth 1 billion images. When you see let's say I use Crip bloods. You see a Crip, you see a blood. There's 5 of y'all and 1 of them, or 5 of y'all and 5 of them. They go say, oh, Crips, oh, Bloods, right? But all of you guys are going to have an image. And guess what? Not one of your images are going to be the same. You guys are going to have an image of those 5 guys, and they're black men, and they look just like you, your brothers, you know what I'm saying? Because when you guys travel overseas, unless you're in the military, when you travel overseas, you're going to meet a lot of gangbangers from different. I've met a lot of guys from different sets than from where I was from, and I've met a lot of guys that was from different groups. I'm in one group and then another group, and I've met them. I've even traveling on a bus. I was like from Venice, so it's all Crips there. We're all Crips there, right? But I'm getting on the bus and I'm traveling across the and I'm talking to a whole bunch of Pyrus, and we just talking. They with their families, but they outnumbered me. I don't know how many of them there were, but but I'm sitting there. We're talking about L.A. and business, and they're talking about their friends and how some of their friends are kind of crazy and go to the Midwest or South and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and they got to calm them down because in this area, this isn't L.A. You can't do it here, And I'm, we talking and everything, but I don't know what they're thinking about me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm engaging in conversations, but I do have it on my mind. If I fall asleep, what are they going to do to me? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't worry about that. So we engaged in the conversation. I'll tell them about Japan and telling them, how I helped my wife rebuild her business. How much money was coming in. I didn't touch her money. I let her. I don't care about that. The information was more important and everything. But I didn't. I always ate. Now I always got when I wanted. And I was telling them, it's like, wow. And so I slept. And we went across, I think we were on the bus together for 2 days, because I was going to Canada, actually. And woke up the next morning, and then one of the guys, and some white dude got into it. The white guy was in the lane, and he bumped the brother, and the brother got mad. You bumped me, and the white guy, he ain't going to say he's sorry, but they almost fight. I'm like, wait a minute. You know what? You guys, what are you doing? We're on a bus. You guys can't just fight. You guys... I can understand you have your own beefs and your own personal pride, but you can't let that get affect the rest of us on the bus, because you never know what's going to happen if everybody else on the bus is going to get mad and jump on you two and kick you off the bus, and the bus keep on going, or somebody get mad, because how these older people are, they come up in a era where it's order, and if you have a problem, you sit down and you discuss the problem. You don't do all this crazy stuff. And they get up and bam, 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 and them two laid out, because they can't be men and talk about it. So then when I told the white dude, I said, listen, you bumped him, right? The white dude said, yeah. I said, well, then why don't you just say sorry? You don't have to feel you sorry or anything. Just say sorry, with like whatever your emotion is. And this guy, he's going to take it and he's going to be happy. But that doesn't mean that whatever you're thinking, he doesn't know what you're thinking. You could be thinking, I'm sorry, you black, no good, blah, 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 blah. But he ain't saying that, but he could be thinking that. And the brother just hearing this sorry, because he's all emotionally charged and stuff, he's feeling sorry. So then he's going to image, oh, man, this guy said sorry to me. Okay, nah, he said sorry to me. And I mean, it's all BS, because when people bump into me in those kind of situations, I don't worry about it, because I can understand that everyone on the bus is frustrated because the bus didn't really provide enough luxury for everyone to, really enjoy themselves, taking the trip and stuff. So I can understand that. So a lot of people bump me. So what? Okay, well, whatever. Why am I going to let this disturb me? So anyway, brothers, they get ready to fight and stuff. But the image of your enemy is not going to be the same image that your partner has of them, or his partner. All 5 of you are going to have different images. All 10 of you are going to have totally different images. And that's where most of us in the world, we live in this imagery. We live in this, and this is where your problems are. And you're like, well, why are you talking about game day? Well, actually, I wanted to make another video about it, but I thought I could add it in since I can go back to my regular point. And going back to the point of education is when you go to school and you study, you have a situation. Your teacher says read a book, but you growing up in a household where nobody reads books, and your father hating on you because you smart. Oh, you dummy. What? Well, you think you all cool because you taking calculus, in the 6th grade, huh? You ain't gonna be nothing, nigga. Blah, 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 blah. Or you got a mom hating on you, your daughters. The mom's hating on the kid, the daughters, and the father's hating on the sons and stuff, And then the son, he just progress, go through, become something good, and the father come back and mother come back later. I'm sorry, and I'm glad my mama didn't do that to me, because I'm gonna tell you, I love my mom, I love people and everything, but when somebody do something cold to me like that could have resulted in me not being able to develop properly, or even end up in jail, or even worse, in the ground, I'll disconnect. I will do that, and me and my mother got into some problems, and I just stopped talking to her, and then we start talking again, and, I continue from the last time that we had problems, and maybe because, she started doing this, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll wait till she calms down, and I'll back out the picture, and I'm just going to do what I do when we get back, and, it took some years, we're talking now, but like I said, I'm glad my mother didn't do that, because I would probably just cut her off, that's how I am. But, everyone see me, because she probably wouldn't think I'm like that. But when I grew up, I never really told everyone how actually I am and what I'm thinking, And even like my first marriage, my wife thought I was real nice and weak and humble and everything. Then we got divorced, and I started acting all cool and stuff and cussing. And you never cuss. I'm like, well, I ain't gonna, I didn't have to do that around you. When I'm around other people, I act a certain way, but she didn't know that, the second part of me. But anyway, so getting back, you have a situation, you gotta do homework, you gotta do reading, you gotta read Shakespeare, okay? And you're like, oh my God, I don't read Shakespeare because everyone in the world said, well, everyone in the United States, Shakespeare is so boring. So you got this, so you're gonna take a guess what boring is, and and you're not really halfway read it, and of course you don't look up the words in the dictionary or go do research on, and read other people's letters and research that they thought of it, because you can get those ideas. You don't have to use your own. I mean, still there is, but when you write about Shakespeare, I mean, you can only write the same thing. If everyone have the same language, it's pretty much going to be the same things. He did this and this, and only this point, only that can happen. You know what I'm saying? So you don't do it, or you got a math problem. You don't do it because it's boring. You create an image in your head. So basically, you're like, okay, I gotta do my homework. You go home, bam, here's my homework. Get a book. Okay, this is my pen. Okay, I gotta write an essay. But your friends, they're telling you this, so you're gonna pop this image in your head, and then you're gonna run away with it, with the emotion. You're gonna like, oh, it's hard. Oh, forget it. And everything that you're thinking, all this negative stuff that you're thinking, it's being you think it's being reinforced, and it's true because of the good feelings that the endorphins, have. Because you gotta understand, maybe, okay, I think it's the endorphins, okay, because it does make you feel good. And I've really been concentrating on myself and like, yeah, it gotta be it, But regardless of what it is, there is no emotions or no hormones in your body that's gonna make you feel bad, okay. So if I am making a mistake on this, which I doubt it, but if I am making a mistake, still there is no hormones in your body that's going to make you feel bad. There's no hormones in your body that's going to say, okay, well, mathematics is hard, and then you're going to get this. You might get a thought that it's easy and that it's not hard, but the emotions that's going to come through your body, and that's going to make you react in a certain way, like, oh man, this is hard. Wham! You throw the pen. The action that made you throw the pen has to be adrenaline. It has to be adrenaline. and the adrenaline flows with that. So that's why I think it's endorphins, okay? But you throw it in and you're like, oh, forget it. I ain't doing this. Oh, I feel good. Yeah. You know, you feeling good because it's flowing through your body. You're like, okay, yeah, you know, I made the right choice. You know, because, you know, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because, you know, God, you know, if I was supposed to study, you know, God would give me the feeling that I should study. And it don't work like that because it has nothing to do with God. It has everything to do with you not understanding how your body works. And there, like I said, there is no emotions in your body that's going to say, no, you can't do that. It's going to be here. Now, you're going to get that guilty feeling. You know what I'm saying? And then that might be another type of a hormone or something, you know, when it goes in your stomach and you get all hurt, you know, and eventually you get ulcers and stuff like that because you're releasing your acids or whatever. You might get that, you know, but you're not going to get a feeling that's going to say, okay, I'm not going to do my homework because it's hard. You're going to get this feeling, you know, because endorphin is like a drug. You're all drugged out anyway. That's why your mind messes up and stuff. When you're doing something crazy, you know, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. What was I thinking? You weren't thinking anything because you were drugged. Okay, anyway, so you're not going to get a feeling the same, you know, oh man, you got to do this homework, man. You got this feeling, yeah, you know, I feel good. Oh yeah, because I can't do my homework and I'm not going to do my homework. Yeah, okay, the good feeling's telling me that. You're not going to get a feeling. You're not going to get every feeling that you're going to get that's in your body, regardless of the choices that you're going to make. All those feelings will make you feel good. Every last one of them. Because they have a job to do, and the job that they don't do is decision making. Okay, that's here. It's here. It's always been here, and it's always going to be here. Okay? Let me tell you something, guys, kids. There is no emotional feelings for accomplishing anything intellectual if you don't have this image. You can finish the work. It's like in Japan, man. They got it down packed. It's like white people. They got it down packed. They have no soul, no emotion, no rhyme. They just... You're like, damn, don't you got any emotions? Oh, man, they're strange. You know, but maybe they're not strange. Maybe they know that this is BS. But we know they don't. They do this too because of all the crazy things they're doing. But what I'm saying is, and crazy things everybody's doing. But what I'm saying is, like in Japan, these kids will study, not all of them, but you know, they study. And you're like, hi, and they're like, hi, and they keep on going. You're like, they're not showing emotions. Maybe they are showing emotions. Or, you know, like they say, they're withholding emotions, you know, but maybe we need to practice that, you know, because I am a firm believer there is absolutely no relationship between your intellectual thinking and your emotional outbursts or whatever. No, between the rationale and emotions, you know, there's no connections, nothing. Okay, this only operates when you release it, or it's vibrate, or when it's triggered by vibration. That's why it's good when you want to talk to a girl. You walk up to her, and if you don't want to make them laugh, which me and my friends had a conversation last night about making them laugh, and like, I don't make no girl laugh, and most guys, and I'm saying laughing is just excitement. When they want you to make them laugh, all they do is want you to excite them. And I even went as further and said, okay, you walk up to a girl, walk up to you and say, make me laugh, and you can go home with me. Or what would you do? You know, or something like that. Or a girl walk up to you and say, make me excited, and I'll go home with you. Now, which one of them would you want to try to appease or do whatever they wishes? And the guys always say, oh, the one that said laugh. And I said, well, why wouldn't you want to be with the one that says make her excited? I mean, she asked you to make her excited, which means, you know, you're making, he didn't, and all this stuff, right? And they're like, you know, maybe she's, you know. And I'm going to tell you, women, guys, most of the guys, they have no clue. A lot of guys, they just want to chase and they think they know what it's all about. They have no clue at all. They have no clue. You tell them all the time, make me laugh. Just like my friends, you know, they didn't understand till I had to break it down. You know, that what I was saying was the same thing they were saying. Well, one of them was saying, break it down. And all the women they're saying is when they say make me laugh, it's just make me excited, because you're only gonna laugh once you get excited, you know, and you're not gonna get excited intellectually, you're gonna get excited emotionally. So you gotta do something that she's gonna think, create some image, and she's gonna release whatever hormone, whatever it is that's gonna make her laugh. She's gonna make her laugh. The vibrates, and all the hormones release. You know, everything, bam. It's gonna. I mean, it's like, babe, boom, what, right through your body. Everything's. It is gonna leave you just soaked in hormones, right? Okay. So anyway, getting back to the education thing and all that stuff, you guys, your kids, when you doing your education, there's no connections. No connection. Oh, I gotta run up and get my pen. There's no connections between your intellects and your emotions. Here is your intellect. Intellect. That's okay, intel. And here's your emotions, emotions. There is no connections. There are two different worlds. So when you and your friends are studying together, you're gonna say, well, you know what, just 350 JP, and you know you all cool, you know, with the D Love Black Baby. When it comes to intellectual and all that stuff, man, you ain't got a clue what you're saying. Because me and my friends, you know, when we study together, we understand, we all laughing, we all emotion stuff. Yes, because you understand that you're like, wow, I understand, and then you want to make yourself happy. So you have to create some image so that you can laugh and release whatever you want to release to make you happy. But like I said, one picture is worth 1,000 words, but one word is worth 1,000,000,000 images. We did it. That one sentence, we did it. You did what? We solved it. Okay, what's the image of you solving the problem that you guys are working on? Because I guarantee that your image and their image and that person's image and all of you guys are celebrating because of your own individual image that is being spawned by the same function that creates da 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 da. Here's a star, here's a circle, here's a square. These are all your images of success, and your emotion is doing it, and all you're doing is releasing some type of whatever emotions that's going to create the laughter in you, and that's all you are doing. Yes, that's all you are doing. Listen, guys. All I can say is, and even me, I'm working on this myself. You have no problems in the world. The world can be at peace. Okay, this happens to everyone. Everyone goes to this, and some people are so deep into this, or some people even know it, and they just at the top, like, man, look at them fools, you know. But you can't. I mean, you know, you can't judge them. It would be nice if, you know, they doing that. So evidently they got some images, you know, that they want to keep up, you know, whatever. I have no idea, you know, but we shouldn't have the problems that we having. You kids, when you go into school, like I said, the government, these white people, because I don't think it's black people out there doing it, but these white people created these schools. They didn't create all the technology. They went to Africa, different places, got it, but they assembled it, you know, from different wherever they got it, and then they turn around and they teach other people. They teach black people also. Like I said in my other video, Malcolm X said that only a fool would let his enemies educate their children, but only a fool would educate the children of their enemies. Okay? School is fun. You know why it's not fun? Why it's fun? Well, why it's not fun? Because you're not creating the images that make school fun. And and you can't create the image if you don't understand, and you can't understand if you don't understand the vocabulary here. Here are two dictionaries. Here's a dictionary. Here's a thesaurus. Oxford's unabridged thick dictionaries. I have these. I used to read them a lot, or whatever once they're in the States. And you can't understand those. A thesaurus is probably the best source other than instead of a dictionary, because it breaks down to the words, to the hood words, you know what I'm saying? But the dictionaries actually are like stories and stuff. I don't know how many stories there are in the thesaurus and stuff, but they do have sentences, so I guess they have them. But I got only about like 8 more minutes. So you can't create an image of school that's fun because you don't understand, but you do create images all the time, you know. Okay, again, I want to talk about the from this classroom to jail pipeline. You know, they provide you with facilities, books, teachers, counseling, opportunities to go to college for free. They pay for your food. They have people clean up the room. They pay for electricities and stuff. You know, they transport you there to school and back. They have programs for you. They do all these things for you. And then they make it mandatory that you go to school for, I think it's 8 hours. And when you go into school, what are you doing? You're only studying about nature. That's all you're studying about. Is everything is nature. Come on, air conditioning. You know, it's nature, electrons and all this stuff. The bike, you know, is made from what? It's made from natural things. You know, if there are any unnatural things, I don't know where those are. I haven't seen them. You know, things that's on the earth. But you're only studying about nature. That's all you're studying. Math is just putting these together and, you know, and all this. That's all. When you go into school, all you're doing is studying about nature. The only reason you must study about nature is because that's what you're made of. That's what you're made of. You have pressure in your body. You have stress. You have electrons. You got minerals. You got oxygen. You got all this stuff. You are a product of nature. That's exactly what we are. For some reason, somehow, something just managed to put us together, and bam, here we are. But what are we? Okay, now if you believe all that other stuff, like some gods, people cannot create, whatever, it doesn't matter. But still, you know, the animals, you know, they're still a product of nature. So when you go into school, that's all you're studying is nature. So you want to say, well, how do I go to school, and how am I able to have fun in school? Let me get the pipeline. Okay, so they're doing everything, and so kids are studying. Like today, I had these 2 kids. One is in the 4th grade, I think. The other one's in the 2nd or the 3rd grade. I think 2nd grade. Right now, they're using, they're about to use this Target book. But anyway, I mean, like, they're translating, taking one verb, and they're making 7 different grammatical sentences out of it. And I got some students that are in junior high, elementary school, 2nd, 3rd grade. You know, but they're doing really good. Okay, so you got a couple of kids that'll walk around the class or talk and things like that. And when you go to school, it's pretty much this. You know how our ancestors say, "Know thyself, know thyself." Okay, know thyself. How are you going to know yourself? Is by studying. How can you study if you're distracted? The government, the United States government, makes facilities for you to go to school for at least 8 hours. Okay, 5 days a week. Okay, for 13 years. Okay, to the 12th grade. And it's mandatory. And you know, in Japan, only elementary and junior high school are mandatory. Once kids, it's their choice to go to high school. They have a choice. In the United States, we are not provided. We don't have the luxury, if that's a good word to use, to not go to high school or to college. But it's there. 13 years. The government says this facility is for you so you can know thyself. And you got kids in those classrooms who don't have any respect for themselves. And they're talking, throwing, fighting, shooting, doing all kinds of stuff. And these teachers are begging them. The government is telling these parents, you got to get control of your kids. And they're begging for how many years? I remember, I'm telling you, I was in class once, and my friends talking about ditching and stuff. So that's okay. I'm going to just get up and walk and see whatever. I don't know what I was thinking. Teacher said, if you walk out of class, you're going to get a C in my class, even though I was getting an A. I'm like, you ain't going to do that. She said, yes, I will. I said, okay, I don't care. I walked out, man, I got a C, man. I was thinking, oh my God, what a fool, because it dropped my school grade to it dropped. And so I got when I graduated, I had a 2.2. And for me, that's embarrassing because I am a smart, behind my brother said, intelligent nigga, right? Okay, but like I said, you said the N-word, but you guys go read what the word nigga means, because evidently you guys don't know what it means, because if you do know what it means, when white people say it, you would say, oh, thank you, because it means God, chosen people. It's a good word, it's not a bad word. People just use it discriminatory. So if you go to another country and you say, oh, you're an American, and you're an American? Yeah, I'm American. When you go to another country, you American? Man, why you keep calling me American, man? I'm a United States citizen. Huh? Well, wait. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, whatever, man. Y'all create your own images and think what you want. I don't care. But what I'm saying is when these kids are going to school, what they're doing is it's not only that they're hurting themselves, seriously, detrimentally hurting themselves, but they're stopping the forward process of other students, and they don't have that right. So they tell the parent, they suspend you, they make you go home. And at first it was no suspensions. I remember you got spanked in class. I got spanked. You get them 3, what? That didn't work. Then you got to go home and write 1,000 times. I will not talk in class. I will not talk in class. You had to bring it to the teacher. Still didn't do that. Then you started talking about the other class. Then you started talking. And then everybody started bringing their Walkmans to school. And then people started ditching. And people started writing on the walls. And the teachers are begging and pleading. And the parents are like, well, it's your job to discipline them. And it's not their job to discipline. It's their job to teach, help them understand who they are. And so then it's getting so bad that the teachers are probably scared of these kids now, because a kid will say something, and they'll say something to that kid, and there's no telling what that kid is going to do, black or white, because what you guys are thinking is, you're saying, okay, the black kid's getting sent to jail and it's traumatizing them, but the white kids don't. But when the white kid gets angry, what are they doing? You understand? What are they doing? Because sure, we have problems with weapons in our schools, but those are gang related, and we can do something about that. But in white schools, when they have those problems and the kids just go off and doing what they're doing, the white people are like, well, what's going on? How are we going to fix this? Because they don't see the signs. And the signs are that they're not disciplining their kids. And then they're seeing what's going on, and you got to understand that our neighborhoods are almost identical to people's households, white people's households. Okay? Our neighborhoods, our entire neighborhoods that encompasses homes and people are in white people's homes. Okay? And you guys don't understand that. They don't understand that. So I got to start class in about a minute. I want to make this the end. You guys, when you're going to school and they call the cops on you, come in. When they call the cops on you and stuff, it's because they're scared of you and your parents aren't doing anything, so they're going to turn you over to the cops and let the cops handle you. And when these cops handle you, then listen, know thyself. Stop creating silly images. study. If you don't understand something, get a thesaurus or a dictionary. Okay? I'm out. This is my last video for this. Peace.